Good afternoon, sir.
यस गुड आफ्टरनून। यस आपका इंटरव्यू कब है? 9 को ना?
Yes, sir.
कब जा रहे हो आप?
सर आज
कितना बजे ट्रेन?
10 बजे।
10 बजे।
यस।
तो आज फाइनल मॉक लेना है।
यस सर।
यस, लेट वी स्टार्ट। बेसिक इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ।
Hello, myself Suyadada. I'm from RRC. I have done my 10th and 12th from IIT Academy, and I have completed my B.Sc from Banaras Hindu University, and I have completed my M.Sc from IIT-BOM.
यस गुड। योर नेम इज शिवम। यस, व्हाट द मीनिंग ऑफ योर नेम?
The meaning of my name is auspicious, or we can say that a pure, anything which is pure. Basically, the word Shiva is given to the given from the name of Lord Shiva, which is known by the Satyam Shiva Sundaram, and it explain the something good in your life.
यस गुड। नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट्स योर स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस?
My strength is that I am very focused and flexible person. I can do the work in very focused way, and I can do the work in very in flexible way. That I can do work at any time. I am very creative in nature, and my weakness are my presentation skills are not very good.
यस गुड। नेक्स्ट वन, योर हॉबी इज प्लेइंग क्रिकेट। यस, व्हाट इज द क्रिकेट? व्हाट द हिस्ट्री ऑफ क्रिकेट? डिस्क्राइब।
So the cricket was started by the English people in late 18th centuries, and there are lots of initially the play start with only test cricket, and after some time the test T20 and ODI are introduced in the in this pattern. There India has won two ODI World Cups and two T20 World Cups, and mm, the test are playing for the 5 day game. Each day the 90 overs are 90 overs are done, and the ODI are 50 over games from the both side, and T20s are the 20 over game.
यस गुड।
And
नेक्स्ट इज
first, the first World Cup was playing in 1975 in England, and that is won by the West Indies. And the first runner-up was Australia.
yes, what the difference between test, ODI and T20?
The test are the 5 day game, 5 day game, and each day is 90 over is done. And ODI are the 50 overs, which is done from the both sides, 50 over, 50 over, and T20 are 20 over games, which is shorter in duration.
Yes, what's your opinion about IPL?
The IPL has both pros and cons with respect to games. There are lots of pros for the domestic players. It give opportunity to player to play international level. It provides lots of money to the domestic players also, and it provides a competitive competition between the domestic for the domestic player with the international players. It has cons also, like there are lots of bettings are happening during the IPL time, that is not good for the cricket.
But the drawback limitation of IPL.
So drawback, we can say that uh, uh, lots of bettings are happening during the IPL durations. We can say that there are two teams which are banned for the 2 years, and there are lots of cricketers also who are involved in these types of betting game. They are also banned for the many years.
Yes, good. Next, move on your native place. Your native place is Varanasi, UP. Yes, how do you feel about Varanasi? What's your favorite place in Varanasi? Describe.
So the Varanasi is basically known as the holiest place in the world, and it is the oldest place, oldest city in the world, and it is known by the different name in different phases. Like it is known by the Kasi, Varanasi, and Banaras. The name itself explain the meaning of the place. Like Kasi represent the spirituality of the place, and we know that this is very dear to the Lord Shiva, and Varanasi represent the geographical location of the place. Like the place is between the Varna River and Assi River, and Banaras represent the culture aspect and the mood of the city and the flavor of the city. Varanasi is famous for the different things like different ghat. There are lots of ghat which is famous for their work like the Swashamit Ghat, Assi Ghat, Mankanika Ghat, and it is also famous for the Dhammak Stupa where the Gautam Buddha gave his first sermon, and Kashi Vishwanath, and we know that the Kashi Vishwanath temple, which is one of 12 Jyotirling, which is in Varanasi. Here is a Ramnagar fort, which is also famous because here it contains two temples and one museum of of Lord Vishnu and Ved Vyas. And we also know that Asia largest residential college, BHU, are here, which is made by the which is uh, which is made by the Malviji with the help of with the help of Maharaj Prabhu Narayan Singh and uh, lawyer Sundarlal.
Yes, good. Next, move on UP. Yes, how do you feel about UP? The favorite place in your UP? What the role of UP in our country?
The UP, we know that this is the fourth largest state in the India. Its population is about 241 million. This is much more than with much more than the some countries, and it is famous for the UP generally famous for the politics and the religious places. There are lots of religious places where we can travel. Like we can see that Mathura is famous for the Lord Krishna, and Mathura and Dwarika is famous for the Lord Krishna. Varanasi is um, famous for the Bhagwan Shiva, and Ayodhya is famous for the Bhagwan Ram, and we know that Prayagraj is famous for the Kumbh Mela. The UP is famous for the most of religious places. We can see that lots of uh, uh, lots of places for the religious people, and it is also famous for the different kind of things like we can see that Taj Mahal in Agra, which is one of the seven wonder of the world, and we can see that Agra Fort, Fatehpur Sikri, which is also famous for the tourist. And we can say that politically it is mostly also involved in the for the country. It contains largest number of Lok Sabha seats. And we know that there are lots of universities. There are 45 universities are there. There are two AIMS, two IITs, uh, one IIM are there.
Yes. Next one, move on titration section, laboratory. Yes. What is laboratory? What the role of laboratory in your life? Describe.
Laboratory, laboratory play an important role for the students. It give a space where the student can perform their theoretical work into the practical work. Laboratory give a place where we can put their idea in a to present to present something in a real life.
Yes, good. Next one, move on in laboratory. The deep section is qualitative, quantitative analysis. Yes, what is qualitative, quantitative analysis? What the difference?
The qualitative and quantitative. The qualitative analysis is the analysis in which we only in which we only know about the quality of the product. If, that's a metal or non-metal are present in the sample or not. But in quantitative, we measure the amount of the substance in the given sample.
Yes. Next is elemental analysis. Qualitative in section is elemental analysis. How to detect nitrogen, sulfur, halogen, bromine, iodine, chlorine in a lab. Yeah.
So for elemental analysis, we have to first make the Lagrange. We have to make the first make take first do the Lagrange test. For that, we have to take a small piece of sodium ion in fusion tube, and we have to add the small amount of organic compound, and we have to do the red hot tube, and then break it in cold water, and then we have to again boil the cold water and remove that glass part and extract and take the filter it and take the extract from the solution, and that is sodium extract. And for the nitrogen test, we have to do we have to add the freshly prepared FeSO4 solution and a small amount of H2SO4, and we get sodium nitroprusside, which is percent blue in color, that gives the presence of the nitrogen taste. And for sulfur test, we have to take a small amount of soda extract, and we have to add lead acetate, which give a PBS as a black PPT. Within this, give the presence of the sulfur. And for halogen, we have to take a small amount of sodium extract, and we have to add AgNO3 solutions. And for the chlorine, it give a white PPT. And then after that, we have to add a small amount of NH4OH. If it is soluble, then it is a chlorine. And if we get a light yellow color of PPT in AgNO3 solution, then that will be chlorine bromine, and then again add a small amount of NH4S. And if it is soluble, then it is a bromine, and if it is not soluble, then it is a iodine. And for nitrogen, sulfur, both, we have to take a small amount of soda extract, and we have to add a small amount of Fe3 plus solution, and we get a red blood. If you get a red blood color, then the presence of sulfur nitrogen, both.
Yes, good. Next one, functional group. How to detect functional group in a lab? Carbohydrate, aldehyde, ketone, ester, acid. Explain one by one.
So for functional group detection, like for we have to test alcohol, we can do the Lucas test. Lucas test gives the give the presence of the primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol. Like we have to add a small, we have to add SCl in primary alcohol and ZnCl2. If no reaction happens, then it is primary alcohol. In secondary alcohol, we get the product and we get the product in 5 to 10 minutes. Then it is a secondary alcohol, and if we get the product in immediately, then it is a tertiary alcohol. And for the phenol test, we can take a small amount of phenol compound, and we have to add Fe3 plus solution. Fe3 plus solution, and if we get a red color, violet color complex, then it is a presence of the phenol group. And for a ketone and a gas, we can do a silver mirror test. If it gives a silver mirror test, then there is aldehyde are present in the solution. We can do a 2,4-DNP test for the presence of aldehyde and ketone. We can get the presence of the aldehyde and ketone. For ester test, we can do a hydrolysis test, and if we get the alcohol and acid, we can give the presence of the uh, carbo ester group.
Yes. Next one is third point is gravimetric analysis. What is gravimetric analysis?
Gravimetric
Yes.
gravimetric analysis is an analytical technique to determine the quantity of the analyte in the terms of mass of the solid. In gravimetric analysis, we determine the sample mass or concentration of the substance.
Yes, gravimetric analysis is precipitation. Yes, no. Precipitation is part of the
Yes,
solution. What is solution and how many type of solution?
the solutions are homogeneous mixtures, or homogeneous mixtures have two or more substances, and it is a different types like aqueous solutions, non-aqueous solution, homogeneous solution, non-homogeneous solution, saturated solution, unsaturated solution, super saturated solution, and dilute solution, concentrated solution, and ideal solution, non-ideal solution.
Yes, good. Next number. The point is 4 is volumetric analysis. Yes, what is volumetric analysis?
So volumetric analysis is a analytical technique to determine the concentration of the substance.
Yes. Now, volumetric is the first is titration. What is titration and how many type of titrations?
That the titration is a method in which a standard solution from the burette is added to the known volume of the solution in the burette until the reaction is completed. And it is a different types like acid base titration, redox titration, and complexometric titration, precipitation titration, conductometric titration.
Yes, first is acid with titration. Yes, what the main application of acid with titration?
This titration is used to calculate the concentration of different acid or base. We can calculate the concentration of volume of the acid or base.
Your next one is redox titration. What is redox titration?
The redox titration are the titration in which the known concentration of the oxidizing agent or reducing agent is titrated with the unknown concentration of the reducing or oxidizing agent to know until the reaction is completed.
Your next one is complexometric titration. What is complexometric titration?
Complexometric titration is a titration in which the in which the, we use the complexing agent to do the titration. So it is in which a in which a metal ion coordinate with the ligands complexing agent to determine the concentration of the metal ion.
Your next one is what the difference between analytical chemistry and chemical analysis?
So chemical analysis is a process in which we determine the which types of elements are present in the given chemical reaction. And in analytical analysis, we
Yes, carry on.
in analytical technique we determine the chemical and physical property of the given substance or elements.
The next one is chromatography. What is chromatography?
The chromatography is a separation technique by which we can separate the different components present in the given sample.
How many type of chromatography?
There, there are lots of types of chromatography like TLC, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, high pressure liquid chromatography, gas chromatography, size exclusion chromatography.
Yes. Next one is what the difference between HPLC and chromatography?
HPLC and
Chromatography.
HPLC is also a part of chromatography. Through HPLC, we can also separate the different component, and chromatography is also a separation technique.
Yes. Next one is HPLC and gas chromatography, gas liquid chromatography. What's the difference?
Right, HPLC. In HPLC, we use a high performance liquid. HPLC refers to the high performance liquid chromatography, and gas chromatography. In HPLC, we use solvent as a liquid solvent in the liquid phase, and in gas chromatography, we use a gas like inert gas. We use in stationary phase, we use a solid absorbent in HPLC, and in gas chromatography, we use a liquid. And in gas chromatography, we have to control the temperature, and in HPLC, we do not have to control the temperature.
Yes. Next one is UV visible spectroscopy, spectroscopic method. Yes, what the main application of UV?
So the UV visible spectroscopy is basically used to determine the chemical analysis of the different compounds, and and it is also used to know about the mm, molecular weight of the different compounds. So it is also used to determine the impurity present in the organic mixture. And through UV visible spectroscopy, we can do qualitative and quantitative analysis both.
Yes. What the source of UV?
The source, so hydrogen lamp, deuterium lamp, mercury arc lamp, mercury arc.
Yes. Hydrogen, deuterium, and tungsten filament is visible. What the main application of Lambert law in UV?
The weird lemon law is basically used to calculate the concentration of the substance.
Yes. Next, move on. The next topic is atomic absorption spectroscopy and atomic emission spectroscopy. What the difference?
In atomic absorption spectroscopy, uh, we can do uh, we can do analysis on the basis of absorption of light, and in atomic emission spectroscopy, we do the quantitative analysis on the basis of emission of light.
Yes. Disadvantage of AAS and AES.
The disadvantage of AAS are different labs we have to use for different materials, and we can detect only few metals and some non-metals, and we can detect only one element at a time. And drawback of atomic emission spectroscopy are it is more expensive. The instruments are more expensive in nature, and the procedure are complicated in nature.
Yes. What the difference between AES and AAS and ICP? Inductively play coupled plasma spectroscopy. What the difference?
AAS we use the light source, like we use a halogen cathode lamp in AAS. In AES we use lamp flame for the emission of the electrons, and in ICP we use the plasma to generate the ions.
Yes. What the main application of ICP spectroscopy?
So the main application of uh, ICP spectroscopy is used for the detection of the different elements present in the given sample. It is used for the detection of trace elements present in the raw materials.
Yes. Next point is analysis of minerals or an alloy. What's the difference? Mineral or an alloy? Difference
Difference between mineral and
or an alloy.
the alloy is a mixture of two or more elements present in the given samples. Usually metals that form a solid solutions are compound, and mineral are the naturally occurring substance which have a fixed compositions of the element.
Yes. Next one, petroleum and petroleum product. What the difference between petroleum and diesel?
Petrol and the energy content of the both petrol and diesel are different. The diesel has more calorific value than petrol. and diesel emit less amount of carbon dioxide than the petrol.
Yes. Other point in petroleum is aniline point, cloud point, doctor test. What the difference? Poor point.
सर ये सब पॉइंट तो नहीं पड़े।
Okay, no problem. नेक्स्ट वन एनालिसिस ऑफ कोल एंड कोक। क्या डिफरेंस है कोल और कोक में? क्या डिफरेंस है? व्हाट द डिफरेंस?
Coal are the naturally occurring solid fossil fuel, which is the dead plants and organic matters which is buried inside the million year ago. And coke are the derivative product of the coal.
Yes. What the uses of coke and coal in our
So
society, human being?
coal is generally used for the electricity generation, and coke is used for the industrial process, more for the production of iron, alloy.
Yes. What the drawback of coal and coke?
So coal are the limited amount of the fossil fuel which can be extracted after sometimes if you use it large amount.
Yes, good. Yes, what are the drawback limitation of whole analytical chemistry? Any 4 5 point whole analytical chemistry?
Drawback. Analytical drawback, we can say that it is a time-consuming process. All the analytical processes are time-consuming in nature, and there should be a measurement error during the analytical process.
Yes.
And sometimes contamination are difficult to avoid contamination in the sample. And there are some instruments, some analytical techniques are very costly in nature, and we can see that sometimes efficiency of the analytical techniques are not good.
Yes, good. अब rejoin कीजिए after 10 minutes. Yes ना, rejoin once again.
Okay.